Sponsored by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
For decades, CES in Las Vegas has been the place to go to see the latest and greatest in consumer electronics. But recently, the shift has been away from gadgets that fit in your pocket and more towards those that fit in your driveway.
Cars are so important to CES this year that there's a whole hall dedicated to the future of car technology and personal mobility. There's a lot more here than any one person can take, in fact, so join us for a quick tour of some of the highlights that caught our eye.
Normally when we learn about a new car, we want to know what it looks like on the outside. But with this car, the Byte and M-Byte, the big story is what's happening in here. We've got this massive 48-inch wide curved display that goes across the entire dashboard. I think this thing's even wider than my TV at home. And if that weren't enough, there's a secondary display built right here on the steering wheel. Now, all that may sound a little bit distracting, but don't worry. When this car goes into production at the end of this year, it'll have level 3 autonomy, meaning in some situations, it can drive itself. So you, the driver, can just kick back and enjoy the view.
We saw a lot of self-driving cars at CES this year, but BMW showed us a self-driving motorcycle. This autonomous bike isn't intended to allow its rider to take a nap mid-ride. Rather, the technology that this shows off can be used to help new and inexperienced riders from having accidents by introducing adaptive cruise control and emergency automatic braking. All this could make riding a motorcycle much safer in the future. Hyundai won the prize for most bizarre-looking concept at the show with the Elevate. Designed to search and rescue in the most extreme of off-road scenarios, the Elevate can either drive like a normal car or extend its legs to walk and crawl where it needs to be. Over 100 years since the car replaced the horse, Hyundai thinks that we might return to four-legged transport.
While there are a lot of autonomous cars on the show floor this year, Mercedes-Benz actually shut down part of the strip to show off this, its Vision Urbanetic concept. It's basically an autonomous living room on wheels with this giant luxurious cabin inside that seats up to 12 people. But the cool thing is, if there's nobody around that needs a ride, you can take the whole body off and replace it with a panel van and start making deliveries.
No show about the future of cars could be complete without a flying car, and this year's CES was no different. Bell, one of the best-known and longest-running helicopter manufacturers, showed off the Nexus, a concept for a consumer-friendly aircraft that could sit 4 people and whisk them across the city to their next meeting. Flying cars seem more like a reality every day, and Uber has its eyes on this one to be one of their first flying rides.
After a few very long days and many, many miles walked, it's important to take whatever time you can find yourself. And for those few fleeting moments you do find, this might be the best place to spend them. It's the M8 from Dreamwave, perhaps one of the most advanced massaging chairs on the show floor. And since it was designed by Ken Okayama, the guy who penned the Ferrari Enzo, I think I can even count it as work. From Las Vegas at CES 2019, I'm Tim Stevens for Roadshow on CBSN.